Alright, good morning. Let's do the technical analysis pre-market prep for the ES, micro ES on 5/22/2019. Let's see, it's Wednesday, and so halfway through the week, or starting halfway through the week, we've got just a doji on the weekly candle. On Monday, I believe, we tested down here, tested this volume node, did a pretty good bounce, and now we've gone up yesterday, kind of tested the bottom of this node, and you can see, we're kind of ping-ponging between two levels, and that's kind of giving us a doji look. I still think this is positive, and we'll see on the next chart that it's starting to make a pattern that looks like it's going to go up and test up here. So let's not spend too much time on that weekly because it's not really helping us. So you can see the range for today, 2906 to 2823. That of course comes from the ATR, which is sitting right around 40. You can see that the volume down here has really fallen off yesterday. It was a pretty low volume day, but still made progress. From the swing, you can see that, here's the full range. We basically would have doubled the range. We've come back, we've kind of tested the 50% area. This lines up with this volume node right across here. And now we're making this bounce. And so, if I were to describe this as an impulse leg, right? You can see that, it's had a pretty long run. In its first bounce, small correction, and another bounce. Well, what would that look like? That would look like a corrective, what we call a corrective wave, right? A two-legged pull back into some kind of resistance, and then you could make another leg down if you wanted to. And so I'm kind of thinking that this is going to go up into this area at least, but there's a good chance that it's going to go all the way up here. Trying to look, there's some thin places right here that it should be able to travel through pretty quickly. It's got to get up over this resistance, of course, now, but you can see that the volume nodes are a little bit thinner. So keep that in mind for a pattern that, a two-leg back, so you had an impulse leg, two-leg correction. And that's what I'm seeing on the daily right there. Best level, of course, is right at the extreme, which is 2908. And I'm going to say both 2883 and 2887 are good levels, probably to try and get some shorts. I like this one better because it lines up more with some of the candles here. The opens, close on the candles there. 240 is kind of hard to kind of take a look at. So we're potentially going to trade back here. That's my dog. Sorry about that noise. But you can see right here on the 240, we're trading right between these two nodes, and we're kind of stuck in here ping-ponging. So it gets thin down here. So if we break down this morning, you could get a pretty good flush through some of these levels. First spot would be kind of 2849-ish, the top of the profile. There's an extra little spike right here at 2843. So if you break through, but again, at the top, you don't have a whole lot of volume either, so you could break through and hit this 2878 at the top of the candles fairly easy. So keep that in mind. Just not sure if we'll have the volume and who's going to break out, so it can go either way, and that's kind of the doji that we're seeing there on the weekly. And they're actually kind of selling a little bit here. and 60-minute is just more of the same. Look how big this volume is at this point. We've traded down. We traded down into the bottom of this volume node. We talk about it all the time, that we test the top of the volume node, get a reaction, trade across, test the bottom, get a reaction. So this reaction was really good. So if the test of this upper node is slight and finds some support right across these two candles right here, and then goes back again, you could get a trade across and a breakout. So just kind of watch how that goes. If this reaction is strong and they sell it past this first location, you got a little node right here, 51, not a great place, but the 49, 48 that I think we looked at right here, and then that 43 area with that big node right there. So definitely would probably try and get long on that particular node right there. So let's look at the intraday. Again, the volume comparative, you can see down here, not great. Intraday, you can see we tested up, pulling back down. This is the top of those two candles that I was talking about, where if it finds support across the top of this, right, so we busted out. You can see down on the delta, they had a fairly big delta candle right there. You know, they put a lot of effort into it, and now they're going to try and sell back some of the contracts that they bought and let it move down and hopefully find support here. See this guy already, he's going to keep it from falling too much right at this point and put a floor in it, and then you can see these guys are stacking up right in match with this volume node. So just kind of keep that in mind on how that's trading, and look how they're kind of, you know, putting contracts into the market to get this thing going. Yesterday, again, we did 21,000 contracts, which makes me think, you know, there's a lot of bulls in here and they're not going to let this fall. So I'm still favoring the upside move, and that's just the way that I'm reading it right at this point. More of the same. You know, the balance and everything. Look how thin this is. So just really kind of keep this in view when you're coming, if you break down, you know. So keep your targets really tight if you're going to try and take some of these bounces, but I'd probably almost let it go through these two levels and come to rest down here on that 40, 44. It's really going to be like 43, somewhere right in there is where you're going to get the bounce. So there's a good little spike right here, which is why I have that line right there, and this is the bottom of the volume node. It has an opposing pivot right there. Not much else to talk about that price action. In symmetry, we didn't do much trading overnight, and I took this swing right here to here and then doubled it, and that gave me that swing right there. So I'm kind of looking at this as the range for the day. So 65. So there's only like a good 2-point little range right here, and we'll see how that works out. Looks like we're getting a good sell. We'll sit here for 1 second and see. So let's see if this guy can hold it right here. Some live action trading here. So pressure's on. Somebody dropped a 52 contracts and a 99 contracts here, selling into this. They're just holding it. Just had a little flurry of buy activity there. You can see they're putting 55 right here, 110, so they're going to push it back up. So here comes the bounce. Let's see if it goes. 18. No buyers. Here we go. Buyers finally hitting, and it moves up. Right now it seems like a weak bounce, right? But there it goes. Let's see if they'll hit this. Notice that they're putting contracts on and taking contracts off, so we're just kind of watching this action, this little level, to see how it plays out. It's slow in the morning. $95, $69. Okay, so they're hitting it again. Let's see if they can clear this level. Yep, 118. They tried. Seller's doing a nice job. 150 over here. Sellers are putting a little bit of pressure on. The objective is not to have to buy or sell too many contracts, but yet still get it to move, right? Oh well, could be like molasses here. It's pre-market. It's early. It's 4:48 in the morning. So buyers usually always win, though. Eventually they just kind of hold it and they push it back up. But you can see, I mean, I talk about this all the time in my videos, you know, top of the range. You find where the volume is. This is where they're going to try and fight. You only have a 60-40 chance, right? 60% chance it's gonna work, and 40% chance it's gonna fail. It's just the right location. You just don't know who's going to show up and fire contracts into this area. That's why it's only as good as a 60-40. But looks like buyers are going to win. We could have stole a couple ticks out of there probably. Never quite made my line here. The line probably should have been, right here where the step is. There's a bigger step right here. But you draw these lines so early in the morning. It's amazing that they work out so close. But anyways, good luck with your trading today, and we'll see you in the afternoon.